This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
Hello, how are you getting on? And welcome to episode 2 of the lovely podcast Listen, I'm Delicious. Today we're going to have a lovely guest. We're going to have fellow Mayo man, Alan Clarke. And we're going to talk a little bit about Mayo. I thought it would be a good opportunity to talk a little bit about Mayo. But first, I have some exciting news. This past week, I was on The Late Late Show. So The Late Late Show is Ireland's #1 nighttime chat show. I was on a bit of, it's like maybe Conan O'Brien or Letterman in the US, if you're watching from there. So they brought me on what's called the Country Music Special. And Ireland is absolutely mad for country music. So it's actually the second biggest special of the year. So we have the Toy Show, which is like the #1 most watched thing in Ireland. And then it's the Country Music Special. So it was a great honour to be asked to be on it. I did a little bit of a song, a little bit of a romantic song. I think some of the girls were liking me singing it. But it was a bit of a random inclusion because I'm not a country singer. Now there's a lot of Americans I seen who were commenting on the clips of me on the show who think that I'm a famous country singer in Ireland and they just didn't know that I was. That is not the case. I just eat crisps on the internet. I'm just a TikTok person. You're giving me too much credit. I'm not well known for country music. But I did get to meet people who are well known for country music, including my idol, the great legend, the mystique, the Emperor of Ireland, Daniel O'Donnell. I got to do a song with him. I don't know how famous Daniel O'Donnell is in other countries. I know he's pretty famous in the UK, and I know a lot of the Irish diaspora are big on him in the US, but outside of that, I'm not sure how well he's known. He is an absolute institution in this country. To say that that man is a god among men in Ireland is an understatement. He walked into the room, and I didn't know I was going to get to play with a song with him yet. He walked into the room, and the man literally glows. There's like an aura around him. You can't even see his legs move when he walks. It's like he just floats everywhere. It was absolutely amazing. So that's like a bucket list item for me. I have that video now until the day that I die, which is absolutely amazing. I got to meet all the country music stars. I got to meet Janet Devlin as well, who some of you might be familiar with. She was on the X Factor. She was like, I think her audition on the X Factor was like 50 million views or something like that. I actually used to be voting for her on the X Factor. It used to cost me €2 a pop. I didn't ask for it back or anything. But it was an absolutely great crack. It was a great experience. I was a bit nervous now, I'm not going to lie to you. I was a bit nervous going on. But everybody was very nice to me, and I'm absolutely thrilled with it. And I got a mention in for Mayo. I always like to say Hup Mayo when I'm on the television if I can. And Alan, who's our guest today, is another Mayo man. He's a very famous Mayo influencer, shall we say. And we're talking a little bit about Mayo. I just wanted to let you know for people, I never stop harping on about Mayo, but if you don't know anything about Mayo, I just wanted to give you like a few little facts about Mayo. So first of all, first fact about Mayo is I'm from a town called Ballina in Mayo, which is an absolutely great spot. But I'm originally from a place called Killicrone, which is out in the middle of nowhere. I don't even think it's on the map. But it's a lovely place. There's a school that used to have about 10 students in it. It's right beside our family house. We have like a load of sheep and a load of fields and stuff like that. And then about 2 miles down the road is the only shop. And that's called Rake Street. But it is more than a shop. It's a country shop. And anybody who's familiar with a country shop knows that a country shop is also a pub. And it's also the general trading marketplace for the entire community. So like if you think you've it good in America with malls, you've got nothing on the variety of a country shop. When you walk into a country shop, you come out first of all drunk. Somebody's probably fed you a dinner. You don't know who's giving it to you at all. You probably come out with like 2 tons of fertilizer for your field, some Pokemon cards, a bar from 1986. It's an absolutely amazing place and you won't have spent a cent. So Rake Street, that's the cornerstone, but there's nothing else for like probably 15 miles. And another place where I spent a lot of time as a kid is Ballycastle. And just off Ballycastle, we have the famous Downpatrick Head. So Downpatrick Head is an amazing sea stack. It's like a triangular sort of delta shape. And it's just a sea stack. I don't know how to explain it any better than that. But it's where St. Patrick is said to have put all the snakes off Ireland, basically, with his staff. A lot of people, though, have been commenting that that's not actually a true story. So I'll explain what it actually means. So the actual true story of it is the snakes were a metaphor for the pagans, the original Irish people, who were all pagan. We actually came up with Halloween. So there you go. We invented that. And basically what happened is... I think it was the Normans. I probably should have looked this up properly, but I'm almost certain it might have been the Normans. If it wasn't, I'll put a correction somewhere. Do you know what? I retract that. I haven't looked it up. I'm not going to say who it was. Some Christians came and they got rid of the pagans, and that's actually what the story of St. Patrick is about. So just so people know, there was never snakes in Ireland. And the other thing I wanted to talk about right beside it, I think we mentioned this in the actual interview with Alan, but we have the Cage of Fields in Mayo. And the Cage of Fields are the oldest fields known to man. So I don't think there's any older field structure in the planet. So we were farming with the best of them right at the start. So that's a little bit about Mayo. Now, Mayo had a bit of a bad reputation in the past because it's part of Connacht. So there's 4 regions in Ireland. That's Connacht. There are why is the word escaping me? What's the word for that again? Provinces. Couldn't think of the word provinces. There are 4 provinces in Ireland, right? So we have Connacht, Leinster, Munster, and Ulster. So Connacht is the part that's in the west. That's where Mayo is. And traditionally doesn't have a very good reputation. When they did the plantations, when Oliver Cromwell came over, there was a saying they used to have, which was to hell or to Connacht. So that was either you get out of the nice part of Ireland, which was the east, or we'll either kill you or you have to go to Connacht. And the reason they sent them to Connacht is because we had the worst farming land. It's all stony, it's very wet, it's mostly bog. So nobody really wanted to be there. So all of the poorest people were sent over to the west. And I think there was like a famous soldier who once said, I think it was the Burren, that there wasn't a tree to hang a man, there wasn't water to drown him, and something else. I don't know. Again, I should have looked it up, but somebody will tell you in the comments. But Connacht, basically not the best for the owl agriculture. So that's where everybody got sent. We have a lot of bogland and stuff like that. And it's very remote. So that's a little description of where I come from. Now you sort of know what Mayo is like. Now it's bustling. We have Castlebar, we have McDonald's, we have all the big shops. It's basically a big city now. But Mayo, one of the more remote parts of Ireland. And now we're going to talk to my fellow Mayo man, Alan Clarke, and learn more. Hello, how are you getting on? Welcome to the podcast. Listen, I'm delicious. I'm here today with fellow Mayo man Alan Clarke.
Mayo for Sam.
Mayo for Sam. Hope Mayo. We look like we're in a darling Mayo house, but we are actually in the centre of Dublin. We're in the throes of metropolis. How are you feeling in Dublin?
I can't believe the rumours are true.
Yeah.
It's sunny here.
It does get sunny here, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I forgot my shorts, so I have to go and buy shorts now after the show.
Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you here. For people who are watching this who don't know who you are, you're the Mayo social media starlet.
Am I?
Yeah, I think you are. Yeah.
Second to you.
I'm not really a.
You wiped my eye. I probably was before you came along with your deliciousness.
I don't think so. I think you're selling out shows worldwide. You're
not worldwide, but we're doing good.
You've donkeys outside your house.
Yeah, donkeys inside my house.
So for people that don't know, how did you kind of get started on social media? Like, what were the kind of videos you did that took off and that sort
I kind of fell into it by mistake. So I was helping businesses with their marketing and their social media, and I was also helping other influencers and personalities. And then I started doing this influencer guidebook, where people would be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is my last custard cream, and when it's gone, it's gone. And then they tagged custard creams. Do you know those types of people? And then the next day it's like, wow, I just after getting a full box of custard creams. Yeah. So I went after those type of people a little bit. It blew up. Then 2 donkeys came into my house one night at 3 o'clock in the morning. That blew up. Yeah. Even though I was accused of staging the whole thing at 3 o'clock in the morning, and a few other bits and pieces. And it all happened by fluke. Absolute fluke.
Same as myself, really. I think that's kind of how it happens for a lot of people.
You say it's fluke, but there was a bit more strategy to yours now.
Later on, there was, yeah. I am sort of strategic with it now, where
you didn't set out to be an influencer or to be
No,
a content
I didn't
creator.
even know people really did it. So, like, I knew there were YouTubers, but I didn't know that people made videos on Instagram and did that.
Yeah.
So I kind of started off just making random videos that I thought nobody wanted to watch, and then as it kind of went on, I was like, oh, maybe people might watch if I did this.
Yeah.
So I think that's how it happens for everybody. Is it starts off kind of random, and then you get a bit more.
And then I think there are people out there that really, really, really want it.
Yeah.
And then they find it hard to grow.
And they never get anywhere.
Probably because they're trying too hard, maybe.
I think it's I don't know. I don't actually know what it is where some people get lucky with it and some people don't. It seems like such a random occurrence, because there's two people can be doing the exact same thing, and then one person takes off and another person mightn't, and then they might later. So it's a strange world. I think it's like that with everything, though.
Does your granny know you brought her table up to Dublin?
She doesn't know. I wish I could take credit for designing this, but it's actually done here in the HeadStuff podcast studio. I think they did an excellent job with the decor. Look at that lamp.
At what time are we allowed to have the custard creams?
So before we get into the custard creams, I always like to start off by talking about your favourite food. So we're going to start off with, what is your favourite drink?
Okay.
I believe you've had a bit of trouble acquiring your favourite drink.
My favourite drink is Lilt.
Yes. You have not got Lilt.
I don't have Lilt because I thought Lilt would be provided for me.
Yes. Yeah, that was my fault. So I was actually talking to Alan for about 4 hours yesterday. We did his podcast, and I neglected to tell him that I needed him to bring snacks.
Yes.
So there was a mad dash right before this, which was all my fault.
I ran to the shop to acquire Lilt and they don't have it. But this is my second favourite drink.
Yeah, Fanta Lemon goes ridiculously hard, to be fair. So also, Lilt is now, do you know its current name?
Oh, no.
It is now Fanta Pineapple and Grapefruit. And so they got rid of Lilt. And one of the reasons that I heard that they got rid of Lilt, right? This is an interesting Lilt fact, okay? Is grapefruit reacts with loads of medications. And when it was called Lilt, nobody knew that there was grapefruit in Lilt. So they had to make it more obvious. So they called it Fanta Pineapple and Grapefruit. Now that could be bullshit.
That's woke culture.
But it's not.
Now.
It's not my business. No, I think it can actually kill you. Like if you're on like a real hardcore medication, I think you need to stay away from
Somebody
grapefruit.
somewhere now started a hashtag no grapefruit campaign and then they cancelled it. Nonsense.
I will say that may not be a fact. I believe almost every fact I either read on Wikipedia or am told in passing. So who knows?
There is something really refreshing though about Lilt and lemon.
Absolutely.
It's just that it just kind of blows the senses for a couple of seconds and you're like, oh, that was lovely.
I always remember, the thing I miss about the old Lilt is I used to love, nothing really has a colourful bottle anymore. You never get like a green bottle. Have you seen Sidona now has a clear bottle?
No.
Sidona's a clear bottle with Sidona. It used to be a nice green bottle.
I actually totally forgot Sidona existed until you said it there.
Sidona's such an underrated
Who
drink.
buys Sidona?
Me.
No, I don't even think I've even seen it on a shelf.
So it's very unpopular. You don't get it many places, but when you get, it's only like deep in the throes of a small village, you'll find a bottle of Sidona.
Isn't that a byproduct of Bulmers?
I think Sidona, byproduct. I think they're the same thing.
But I think it's a mistake, or it's just like, oh, we had this stuff left over, so let's just make Sidona with it.
Sidona is a cider. It's just unfermented, so it's not alcoholic.
But what I mean is, I don't think the company set out to make an apple flavored drink. I think it's like just that they're making Bulmers and they've this stuff left over.
Oh, yeah, right.
I don't think they set out and said, we're going to be millionaires, an apple drink.
I think the basis of that fact is dicey, but it could be the truth.
I will have to check it out. Could
be the truth. I think I used to like it when I was a kid because I used to put it in in a pint glass and pretend I was drinking Bulmers. Like I used to put blackcurrant in a wine glass as well.
Go around the house, pretend you were steamed.
Yeah, but it would work. Like I'd be drinking it and then I'd kind of act like I was drunk. How are you getting on?
How are you getting on?
Yeah. I don't know, am I the only person that did that? Maybe that's a strange
Did you go down to Supermac then at 2 o'clock?
There was no, I was living in Ballycastle at the time. There was no Supermac in Ballycastle.
No, okay. They'd open one in your pocket now. They're opening everywhere.
They are. There's even Supermacs out here. Out east in Dublin.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that last night.
They're worse. A lot worse.
They're kind of like, they're like a moth. They're like a flame aren't they?
Yeah.
Like the culchies just gather around Supermacs. I drove past one last night, and it was like driving through a town in Castlebar or a town in Mayo.
The thing
it
about
was just full of culchies.
The thing about Supermax is it's like a modern day Roman Colosseum. It's like what I've heard Waffle House is like in America. So this will prove to you, right, that I'm not biased with sponsorships, okay? I've done a sponsorship with Supermax, and I'm about to tell you that it's where violence gathers in small towns. So I don't know why it is. I don't know why it's now. It depends. So the way it works is people after they eat. I don't know what it is that makes people angry after they eat on a night out, but everybody fights directly after they've had a curry cheese chip. Now it depends on what happens. So it's usually a Supermax, but what happens is if you get like the likes of Tasty Bites or something like that in your hometown, then the violence will congress outside of there.
And then I think every chipper in the country has a nickname.
Yeah.
Because in Westport, Blue Thunder used to be open after the nightclub, but it's not anymore, and they used to call it Blue Murder.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. It's
Abracadabra. I think there's a whole podcast in nicknames for chippers.
But here's the thing, right? People are going to think that is a negative, that's a negative. It's not that Supermax makes people violent. It's that Supermax has the best food and people get violent after they eat. That's what happens. But what is it?
It has nothing to do with the 14 pints they've had before they go to Supermax.
Yeah, the pint. No. It is the pint.
It's most definitely the pint.
It is the pint.
It's nothing to do with the chicken fillet burger.
Something about a garlic cheese chips awakens a deep violence in people.
You can take on the world after a garlic cheese chips.
Or a kebab. Like if there's a kebab place in your town, you are finished. There's only violence can occur outside of a kebab place.
Supermax in the west of Ireland is like drink to Henry Sellers. How dare they do this to me? I made the BBC. It's the carbs.
Yeah, it must be that little extra burst of energy. But do you have any? So we continue with the food. We got really carried away with the violence that takes place outside Supermax.
That took a turn.
We didn't even get to the snack. Okay, so this is the wrong drink, but lilt.
It's close.
And your favourite snack?
Has to be.
Is the humble Star Bar.
Has to be.
So Star Bar, if you're not familiar, I don't know where this is available. It may not be available in other countries. It is like sort of like our version of a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Yeah, only better.
With a little bit of caramel on the outside. So peanut butter center, a little bit of chocolate, and then your peanut butter on the inside. I have a bit of a complaint about Star Bars. Can you guess what it is? You're a man with a longer memory than me, slightly.
Oh,
so you might remember my issue.
Did it used to be a Moro?
No. Star Bars used to be fucking huge, and now they are tiny. Now they are. Look at that. Look at that. This is
There's worse.
He's got a normal size head.
It's not too bad. There are worse bars now that. Do you remember the Snickers?
Yeah,
like that's half the size.
You needed to fucking bring a backpack with you to carry a Snickers around back in the day.
Like you do damage now at 2:00 in the morning with a Snickers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Now it's like I don't know what it is.
The saddest one though was the Boost bar because it used to be a Moro. So
yes,
yeah. Now a Boost bar back in the day, a Moro used to be humongous. It was massive. It was about that thick. Like the bar was the size of a can of Pringles, and now it's this size.
Depending on where you're from.
They did a name change. I don't know if it was for tax reasons or what it was for, but they made it tiny.
You say Moro?
Yeah.
I used to call them Moros.
Okay, that's probably because you're, I don't know.
I think I'm from a posher part.
You came from a sort of higher class background than me. So.
In our town, we had an Argos and a McDonald's and a bowling alley, and in Garron's town, he had none of them.
What do you call your mother? What do you call her? Do you call her mum?
Oh
or
yeah, mum. Sorry,
mum. So that's so this is how classes are distributed in Mayo. So if you call your mother mum in Mayo, that means that you're middle to upper class. And then if you're really rich, you might call her mom or mommy. Okay. Then if you're lower class like myself, a common man, you call your mother ma'am.
And what class call them by their actual name? Because those people absolutely...
Wankers.
They give me the shit.
If you call your mother her God-given name, then you are a wanker. Call your mother your fucking mother, you prick. She fucking gave birth to you. She probably spent 28 hours in fucking labour, and you haven't even the decency to give her a proper fucking title. Oh, Lorraine, will you come upstairs? Oh, fuck off, you wanker.
Thank you.
Get a fucking grip.
Thank you. Needed
And
to be
fucking
said.
stop watching this podcast if you do that and go and give your mother a bit of respect.
It needed to be said.
It did need to be said.
I had a friend growing up in national school and he called his mum Mary and I was like, what a dose.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a dose.
What a wanker.
Mary, is dinner ready? Who the fuck is Mary?
I had a friend who had a stepdad, right? And when they wanted something from their stepdad, he was dad.
No way.
And when they didn't want something from their stepdad, he was Mark.
Oh no. What a scumbag.
Yeah, what a shit move, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, respect your fucking parents, okay? That's what I want you to come away from this episode with. We have your main course here.
What's this?
So Alan, he was given plenty of warning that he needed to bring something to the show, but unfortunately he presented me with this sad microwave spaghetti bolognese. Now this is my fault again because I didn't say anything.
Right.
Spaghetti bolognese is your favourite meal.
It really is.
I can't really argue with you.
Particularly microwave spaghetti bolognese.
So what got
This is like space food.
yeah, I bet it's actually all right. Have a taste
I bet
of
the
it then.
date on this was about 4 years, like the Ryanair panini.
That is, I will have you know, Tesco's finest spaghetti bolognese.
Do I have to eat it?
Well, you don't have to, but I'm going to make you just because you've been insulting it.
Have you seen the date on Ryanair paninis?
No.
They last for like 10 years.
Is that right? They
Yeah.
look like that.
The next time you're taking a Ryanair flight, check the date and tag Garron in it.
I have never bought any food on Ryanair.
The date on Ryanair paninis.
And I'm a hungry man.
The date on the paninis lasts longer than my relationships. That's actually really nice.
Well, it's Tesco's fucking finest.
As
of
in
course.
the finest collection.
It's the finest they have in Tesco. Might not be the highest bar, but
This
it's
is
a
so
bar.
good. But you can't beat spaghetti bolognese.
You
It's
can't.
It's just real comfort food, isn't it?
Would you pair it up with a garlic bread or a little baguette? Or he loves it. He didn't even have to have a second bite.
I didn't have
Well, we'll have to
breakfast.
pause the microphone.
And I also walked about 14 miles to get here today.
This has become an ASMR podcast
So I need,
now.
yeah, hang on. Can we do this? Do you want to hear it? Have a listen?
Everybody skipped that.
Garlic bread, yes.
So you have to have it with garlic bread.
Yeah.
Do you know what I've gotten into recently? Because I order Italian food a lot. Who's shocked? I like, there's a new thing they've started, it's probably not new, but I like to get pizza bread with it, which is just the base of a pizza, but with no the rest of the pizza on it. And that goes perfectly with spaghetti bolognese.
This is controversial. It has to have cheddar cheese on top.
No parmesan. You're not that fancy.
No. It has to have cheddar cheese and Aromat.
That's horrendous. What
Yellow Aromat,
Aromat.
and cheddar cheese.
Is there different colours of Aromat?
There's two different ones. There's a red one and a yellow one. You
What's
didn't know that?
What does the red one do?
The red one is for meat, but it's amazing on potatoes.
I did not know there was two different. I've only ever seen the yellow one.
Oh, I'm teaching you so much.
What does it taste like? Is it better?
It's just like a real rich seasoning for meat. You put it on steak, but I put it on fried potatoes. If you do like oven potatoes,
Yeah.
you slice them, put red Aromat on them, put them in the oven. They're just amazing.
Little bit. You don't want to go too hard or it starts to taste a little bit like a Chinese. But
yeah. I'll give you that all day long. And I say that to some people and they're like, what? You don't put Aromat on mash. You definitely do.
I'm going to give people my mash recipe here for free. And it is, you can pay me afterwards if you want. But what you want to do is you want mashed potatoes, proper butter, the real stuff. You want a little tiny bit of olive oil, okay? Bit of milk, onion salt, Aromat, and that's it.
Proper butter, Connacht Gold.
Debatable.
Other butters are available.
Debatable. Would you not go Kerrygold on it, no?
No, Connacht Gold all the way.
Okay.
Where are you going down to Kerry? Are you not a true
they bring it
Mayo
up to
man?
they bring it up to the shop. Like I don't have to go to Kerry to get it.
Garron, you're letting us down now. You're letting us down.
Listen, I love Mayo, and we will talk about Mayo in a second. I love Mayo as much as the next person, but like if Connacht Gold want to compete with Kerrygold, you have to compete with Kerrygold. Simple as that. I don't just eat everything that comes from a 5 mile radius. Like Kerry are still my people.
Okay.
I don't know. Connacht Gold is good. I'll put it this way: I get Connacht Gold milk.
All right. Okay.
Not here, obviously, because it's not available. But when I'm at home, I get Connacht Gold milk.
Well, that's okay then. I'll allow that.
You'll allow me on that one. So you used to do a lot of videos talking about Mayo, its natural beauty, some of the tourist locations, and I'm very passionate about Mayo as well. What is your favourite place in Mayo?
I have two. Is that okay?
That's perfect.
The first one is a place called Duloc Valley.
Right.
It's just past Lewisburg.
Yeah.
And as you go out of Lewisburg, you turn left and then you drive down into this valley and it's just surrounded by these huge mountains.
Yeah.
And it has a beautiful lake down into Delphi Lodge. And that's my first favourite place.
Yeah.
Mainly because there's never anyone there.
It's lovely down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my second favourite place, not a million miles away from you live, is Downpatrick Head. The real North Mayo. It's this rugged it's this rugged sea stack out in the middle of the ocean on its own. And it's just really magic.
Absolutely beautiful. And once a year you can go out in a helicopter, but you have to pay a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah. Now I don't know if it's once a year anymore, but you used to be able to do it.
I'm surprised that that's allowed.
Yeah, it seems dangerous, but people were doing it.
I presume some mad lunatic mad about the birds and the wildlife would stop you from doing that.
It may have been recently stopped, but you can find it was happening.
Most fun things have been stopped lately.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I like, we have the same favourite place, which is, well, your first favourite place is also good, but Downpatrick Head is the best place in Mayo.
It's probably the most underrated place in Ireland.
It's amazing.
Because when you look at the Cliffs of Moher, Mayo's sea cliffs are 3 times...
They're way cooler
They're
looking.
3 times bigger than the Cliffs of Moher. And
the Cliffs of Moher are great.
They're fine. They're grand.
But
They're
Mayo Cliffs... on top. Mayo is underrated for its scenery in general, I think. Even if you just drive, like, even as kind of you're going out past Balmullet and you're just driving through all the bogland with all the rolling hills, it's beautiful. And there's a lot of little sheep.
Can I just say that the Cliffs of Moher are Midland?
Okay, right. Well, you can make this statement, but I'm not getting in trouble with that.
Well, there I've said
Discover
it. The Cliffs
Ireland.
of Moher are the Cliffs of Moher are only Midland.
Yeah, okay. What's your thoughts on why is that?
Because, like I said, the cliffs in Mayo are 3 times bigger, but it's just that maybe we don't have the best roads. You know, maybe a lot of tourists don't know about it. Yeah, fair enough. Maybe we can't fit a bus up the road. Big deal.
Yeah, I don't think you need that.
If we could get a road and a car park to Achill, we would clean up.
Achill is... It amazes me how many people don't know how amazing Achill is.
Achill should be like Dubai.
Yeah.
There should be skyscrapers everywhere. We should be giving people a grant to move to Achill.
I've had a lot of people message me who've gone to Mayo and gone to Achill because I was from there and they were like, oh, I'm curious, I'll go down and have a look. And they go to Achill and everybody who goes to Achill just goes, wow, what a place. It's sensational. If you haven't been to Achill, you need to go to Achill and Mayo in general. Also, my one thing I will say is the Cliffs of Moher don't have as good lore as our cliffs have.
As good what?
Lore, like backstory.
Oh, yes.
Folklore.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so...
it's just about the money.
The sea stack, right, Downpatrick Head that we're talking about, is allegedly where St. Patrick got rid of all the snakes.
Yeah, and do you know how it became a sea stack? Do you know?
Are we talking about the real reason or the bullshit reason? I was going to give them the bullshit reason. I'll give them the bullshit reason and then you can talk about the rest.
Well, maybe it's the same, but go on.
Does your one involve St. Patrick's staff?
Yes.
Okay, right.
That's the real reason,
you
though.
can tell the St. Patrick's staff story. Well, people will say erosion and the sea and all this
you tell
horseshit.
it. You tell it. It'll be better. It'll be more
It's not
impressive.
as a fucking erosion doesn't exist.
No.
Okay, that's made up. Okay, what happened is St. Patrick went down with his staff, and if you can see a picture of it now, maybe we'll try and put it up. And he bashed down on the cliffs.
Can I stop you there?
Yeah.
He was in a bad mood. He had just had a curry cheese chips and Supermacs.
Yes, he was in a bad mood. Just come back and got a curry cheese chips. He bashed down, and the sea stack separated off. Okay, and guess what was on that sea stack? All the fucking snakes. And guess where they are now? Fucking dead.
Fact.
And that's the history of our cliffs in Mayo.
Fact.
Yeah. So there you go.
That is a fact.
And we also, right across the road from it, have the Cage of Fields.
The Cage of Fields, we were brought there on a school tour when we were younger and told that the wall around the Cage of Fields is older than the pyramids. And we had to get into a bus with a ham sandwich and drive over an hour down a windy road to look at a wall.
I am going to say the same thing, but I'm going to phrase it in a much more cool way to hype Mayo up, okay? So, the Cage of Fields they're just these fields separated by walls, but it is in fact the oldest man-made structure on the planet. It's the oldest man-made structure ever discovered, right there in Mayo. And to be honest with you, we haven't advanced much since. So there you go. Are you impressed with Mayo now?
Yeah, but
It's even better than you thought it was.
But it's just a wall at the end of the day, like.
Yeah, but it was 12,000 years ago, man.
I know, yeah, I know. When you put it like that, it does sound impressive.
They didn't
but
have a lot for ash.
I think when you've been in a bus for an hour and 20 minutes on a windy road, dying to eat your ham sandwich, and then you get there and you go, right, yeah.
So you weren't that bothered on it?
It's just
I thought it was cool, but I seen it as an adult.
No, the story is cool.
I had Wikipedia'd it, so I was very excited to go there.
It's very impressive when you think about it. When you stand in the middle of those fields and you look around and you try and place yourself back 5,000 years ago, that's when you kind of go, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah. What is the best town in Mayo?
Oh, this is controversial.
Yeah. I get a lot of especially American people asking me about Mayo, so I thought we'd take this opportunity to discuss some things they might want to know. So what do you think, if you're going to Mayo, what town do you think you need to see?
Oh, I'll have to think about this for a second because everyone's going to say Westport.
Everyone is going to say Westport.
But I think it's a little bit overrated.
Westport is beautiful. Here's what I'll say, right? If it's during the summer and the Ballina Salmon Festival is on, you want to head down to Ballina. We do a Heritage Day. We all dress up like it's the 1700s. It's class.
That's literally the only day Ballina has a bit of crack.
I would argue that that's not the truth. But other than that, I think Westport is the spot. We've got Westport House. It's beautiful scenery, great nightlife. Probably the best town in the country. Who knows?
Yeah.
Castlebar has a McDonald's.
Yeah, Castlebar is kind of where you go to do a bit of shopping.
Yeah, absolutely.
You go to TK Maxx, you get a McDonald's. Argos is gone.
Argos is gone.
Like the town hasn't recovered since Argos left.
No, that was the only reason we ever used to go.
Yeah.
We go down to buy an old kitchen cabinet or something like that.
Tourism in Castlebar has plummeted since Argos left.
I actually believe it.
But do you think Westport is the best town in Mayo? Yes.
Probably. But I would say Ballina, but like if I was being objective, it's probably Westport.
Yeah.
It hurts a lot to say that, but it probably is Westport.
It probably is from a point of view that it has the nightlife and all the tourist attractions and everything.
Yeah.
Is Kong in Mayo?
What else is there? What else is there to have?
But some people
That's like saying, oh, Dublin's great because it has all the industry and the whole economy is based up here and it's the only place to build stuff.
Some people
it's like, well, Mayo, actually, you can cut your own turf if you have a patch of land and you're within the quotas.
Some people aren't into the whole nightlife thing.
Yeah, that's true. I'm one of them. So, but yeah,
have you been to Kong?
I have been to Kong, yeah.
Is that in Mayo? I'm pretty sure it's on the border.
It's on the border between Mayo and Galway.
Half and half.
They have a lovely venue up there that I used to do people's weddings for.
Ashford Castle.
Yes. Yeah, I'm talking to people who may not know what Ashford Castle is.
The way he said they have a lovely venue up there. It's only
I'm not assuming everybody wants.
You were bigging this up as if it was a pub. It's only one of the best castles in the world. I think it was voted best castle in the world a few years ago.
Yeah, okay.
They have a
venue. I was talking
up there.
about the best castle in the world, and I went in a bit slow. Okay,
yeah, that was like, what's that phrase where you undersell it but over deliver? You were like really underselling that.
I was building up. I was starting slow. I was getting them ready. They were like, "Oh, what's this venue?" And then I was going to hit them with, "It's a castle."
Okay, I should let you go.
It's the most beautiful castle. The grounds are lovely, and also, I think personally, I would technically say it's in Mayo. And the Galway people would contest it, but I'm taking it.
Interesting fact about Ashford Castle.
Go for it.
It's Mayo on a postcode because the post box at the front gate is in Mayo.
Yeah.
But the castle itself is in Galway.
I always go by the postcode. What happens? Where does the Deliveroo man show up? That's the way I look at it.
Fact.
He has to go to the gate, and the gate is in Mayo. So we'll take that.
And he's after cycling from Castlebar, which is a good 14-hour cycle.
So there you go. It's in Mayo.
Can we bring Deliveroo to Mayo?
I mean, I'm not the CEO, but I'm
Have
sure.
we any get-rich quick schemes now that we can bring home with
The
us?
problem with Mayo is, you see, like if I open the Deliveroo app in Dublin, then I've got 369 options. If I open it in Ballina, which is one of the biggest towns in Mayo, I have 4 options. And three of them are Apache Pizza, just with different like names for some reason. What? Like there's one called Apache Pizza. There's one called like Kebab House something. But it is, when I was like, oh, there's this new place, kebab stuff. And then it all shows up in Apache Pizza boxes. I was like, what's that? I'm sorry if I've exposed something here, but like, I don't know if you know this, but it is clearly also an Apache Pizza.
Have you seen Ozark?
No, what's that?
Oh, it's this brilliant brilliant series on Netflix.
Okay.
Marty Bird, and he's a money launderer.
Right, okay.
And he just sets up all these businesses.
We are not accusing Apache Pizza of money laundering.
No, I wasn't even, there was no correlation there.
We've gone to war with every takeaway place in the country.
This is not going to make it to air. No way.
Pachi Pizza is a perfectly reasonable establishment.
What's the best thing about Dublin then that we don't have in Mayo?
The best thing about Dublin, oh God, my obesity's showing, but it's got to be the options on Deliveroo.
Yeah.
It's got to be the fact that like at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I go, I fancy sushi. Bring it to me. And then somebody. I find it mad that they cycle with it because all food delivery is done in a car in Mayo, but here they cycle.
Yeah, and it's done in a car in Mayo, and if you live more than 3/4 of a mile outside the town,
They just won't come.
They refuse to bring it to you.
Yeah, proper order.
Why?
Because I'd like, why should some fella have to cycle 25 minutes to me?
But it's a car.
Yeah,
in Mayo.
Yeah, but like you don't want to be driving all over the place. They only get like €2 per delivery as well, so.
But you're up it then and just make it available. I don't have any apps. I don't have Deliveroo. I don't have Just Eat. I don't have Uber. I've never used any of them.
Well, you can't because you'd live in Mayo.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. No, it's good.
You'll have to teach me.
It's good. You'll have to. You're staying in Dublin this evening,
Yeah.
aren't you? You'll have to download it now and have a flick through all the options.
Let's do it. There's 5 guys on it.
Because I seen your story last night. You went back to your hotel and you bought like fruit and a yogurt. I was like, bro, like you're in the land of the fucking free here.
Do you know what? Do you know what I had to do? Like you're going to laugh. I had to drive around Dublin for about 45 minutes to find somewhere that was open.
Yeah.
And then I eventually found somewhere that was open and there was nothing in there, only fruit and yogurts.
You know, you can get somebody to deliver you stuff from the shop here.
I'm going to have to...
They'll just go into the shop. You just go, I'd like a Toblerone and a packet of crisps, and he'll fucking come with it.
Really?
It's mental.
I'm going to have to try this out this evening.
Yeah.
I think I would sit in the hotel all evening just ordering stuff for the crack.
Yeah, no, that's
if I
what
wanted
I've
to
been
order,
doing.
like-
But the problem is I've also been eating it for the crack, and that's not going well.
What if I wanted to order a box of cotton wool buds?
I don't know. I've never tried. Like, I mean, I'm assuming. I've got toilet, but you can get them. We have clarification that you can get them.
I'm doing that this evening. I'm going back to the hotel and I'm ordering cotton wool buds.
Well, listen, here, let me give you a scenario here that would be detrimental in Mayo. Let's say you've gone gone for a number 2 and you discover all of a sudden there's no toilet paper.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Straight into the shower.
Or you can go on Deliveroo and order toilet paper.
Or that.
Yeah. Now, don't ask me how I got from the bathroom to the Deliveroo guy. That's a secret. But I got the toilet paper.
Oh my God. Deliveroo guy, they're going,
We have confirmation you can get cotton wool buds and toilet paper on Deliveroo. There it is.
how much are they? Is there a price?
Oh, they're astronomically priced.
Are they?
Oh, I paid like €8 for a fucking like a bar the other day. Like I paid like some ridiculous amount of money.
What's the most expensive thing? I got stung $6.50 for an hour and a half parking last night.
There was what did
In
I
Mayo,
buy?
that would be about 40 cents.
I'm trying to think of exactly what I bought, but there was some night that there was a couple of people over and we were doing a work thing that I can't really talk about. But and I ordered like a couple of snacks for the house because we couldn't really go out. And I swear to God, I got like a packet of biscuits, like tea bags and stuff, and milk. And it cost me, I think it was like €45.
Are you joking?
It was insane, yeah. Like the tea bags were like €12 or some shit. Because they put the prices up at night. Oh, there you go.
Where did the shops?
Yeah.
Shops here put the prices up at night.
No, well, on Deliveroo they do, yeah.
Why would anyone want to live in
I don't know. I mean, it could be Deliveroo. I think they're a bit of a,
That being said,
What have you got there for price?
we're looking at tea bag.
Yeah, that's
How
not-
much? $5.99. Oh,
I'm gonna put up screenshots, okay?
They must have scanned it twice.
Yeah, I'm gonna put up screenshots of the astronomical prices I found on Deliveroo. I'm gonna collect them and I'm gonna bring them back and we're gonna do a segment where I go through all the ridiculous price things I found on
My
Deliveroo.
local petrol station is selling 6 cans of cat food. I don't have a cat, but I just saw it on the shelf. 6 cans of cat food for €20.
Yeah, but
the exact same cat food is in Tesco for €9.
Isn't that because we're getting a bit into it here? I think that's actually because of the Ukraine, because most animal food is made it's one of the largest agricultural flatlands in the planet. So because of the war, animal food has like tripled in price. So there you go.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, tune in next week for more prices about
Deliveroo.
For more random prices from 2 Mayo buffers.
Oh yeah, to be honest with you, like, do you know what my entire page was actually built on giving out about the prices of things?
Yeah.
I did like a series where I used to go into Tesco. I don't know why they let me in, to be honest with you, because they knew I was doing it, because they used to come up and go, we watched the videos. I used to go around and just look for things that were too expensive and go, fucking hell, Chicago Town Pizza, what are you at? €12. What the fuck are you doing?
I'd say businesses shit themselves when they see you coming in.
Oh, they hate to see me coming.
I'd say
restaurants like to see me coming. They're all like, "Oh, hello, how you doing?" Because they know I love it. If I'm going to eat the product, they love it because I'm a fat bastard and they know I'm going to like it. Like, I never eat something and go, "Oh, I didn't enjoy that." I've never done that because it's not the truth.
And I'd say businesses are afraid to take money off you in case you slate them. They're like, "Oh no, that's on us now. That's on us."
I've never met a businessman who was afraid to take money off me. To be honest with you, people offer me stuff for free, but I always say no. Like, if I go into, I'd say like 80% of the restaurants I go into, if it's like a regular restaurant, they will kind of go, "Oh, if you want, we could."
Yeah, you might give us an old shout out there.
Yeah, they do. But people do nice stuff all the time. Like, I get like a lot of free coffees and stuff, and people are like, "Oh, just so you don't have to put it up." No, I just like the videos. You don't have to put it up. So
nice.
people are very nice.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people come in and they go, "Why don't you have everything on the menu and make a 14-minute video about it?"
What's the most valuable thing you've got for free?
I got a Google Pixel, the phone. I don't know why they sent it to me, because I did an ad for Google and it performed terribly. It was probably like, I was just off that day, okay? It was like probably the poorest ad I've ever done, unfortunately.
What was the ad about? Tell us.
It was about what the most searched things were for that year. And I just, for whatever reason, I woke up that day and I just was not funny.
What was the most searched thing?
Don't remember.
Was it porn?
No. Well, I couldn't have that in the video. It was just normal stuff that was the most searched in Ireland. And I did the video and I was like, oh, the video it didn't do so bad. I think it got like a couple of 100,000 views or something like that. But I was expecting it to do a lot better. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, they definitely think I did really shit on that video. And then 2 weeks later, they sent me a Google Pixel and I was like, fair enough.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's the coolest thing I think I've
Did you use it?
No.
Did you put it on Done Deal?
No, it's at home as a spare phone.
A spare phone still in the box, never used.
My brother had it briefly and then now it's back in a box.
All right.
It's not that I don't like the phone, it's just that I use Apple stuff. So and I've used it for years, so all my stuff is all
That'll be worth money someday, Garron's Google Pixel phone.
Garron's Google Pixel phone, mostly unused. But it's a great phone though.
It'll probably end up in the Turla Museum.
Oh, do you know what I use it for? I use it when I need to have a phone in a video, but I'm using my phone
it's a
to
prop.
record. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the most expensive
I feel
prop
terrible
in Mayo.
because it is a really good phone. I'm sorry, Google. I like it. I'm just really used to my iPhone and I can airdrop to my computer. I'm sorry. It's brilliant. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, what's the coolest thing you've ever got?
For free?
Yeah.
I got a cruise for free.
That's way better than what I got. That is way better than what I got.
Yeah, I got a free cruise.
No, it isn't.
Which was pretty amazing. We got 5 days on a cruise and we went around Greece and Turkey and a few other places.
Yeah.
And it was all like...
That's fucking class.
All expenses paid.
All expenses paid.
I brought my friend Donald Byrne with me and he really tested out the free bar.
Yeah. There's a bit of a stigma with people coming on and going like, oh, I want to get this for free or whatever. I would love to go on a cruise for free, all expenses paid.
I'll sort that for you.
If it's going, call me up. I want to do that.
I'll have that sorted in 10 minutes.
It's amazing though, isn't it? It's like you feel really guilty about it. Like, I remember when they sent me that phone, I actually made a donation to charity because I felt so bad putting up that I'd got a free phone that I made a donation afterwards. It was like 2 stories. And I was like, because the reason was when I got it, I was like, oh my God, like, why the fuck have I been sent a phone?
The pressure of being sent a free phone.
Yeah, I was like, why are they sending me a phone? Like, it's class, but like, what the fuck? Like, I'm a gobshite. Like, I felt bad then. But I've gotten over that. Don't worry, I'm not.
So if you went on a cruise now, would you be worried that like you have to share content or else they're not going to be happy with you?
Well, surely they're not going to put me on a cruise and then I just I'm fucking off for 2 weeks and say nothing about it.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you kind of get this anxiety that you're not doing enough. Am I doing enough? Are the brand happy with me? Or have I tagged them or have I delivered what they're expecting of me?
I think I have never once in my life delivered what anyone expected of me. So
You
I
say
think
that.
I've become used to it.
You say that, but your videos go viral and they blow up, so brands have to be happy with you.
Sometimes, yeah, no, my experiences have all been good.
I think you'd love a cruise because there's 20 different places to eat.
Yeah,
You're pulling up in a different country every day with more places to eat,
yeah.
and I think you'd love it.
Yeah, and I think they're kind of aimed at older people, aren't they? And I kind of have the mobility of an older person.
Totally not true. Totally not true.
Okay,
I
sorry.
can confirm that they're not. They might be aimed at older people, but
Right.
the one we were on was all people our age. Loads of people our age.
Okay, right. I'm gonna go on a cruise as a young man. I'm looking forward to it.
Can I come?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, if it's free, anybody can come. I don't give a fuck. I'll put up with anyone.
Okay, Garron is looking for 2 free places on a cruise in the next 6 months.
I'm joking, but also get on to me.
I'm not joking. I'm not. I'm a Beggy Mitchell. I've gone full circle on this whole influencer thing.
Thanks a million for coming. You're
Thank you.
You're an absolute legend.
I appreciate it. Can I finish this?
Yeah, sure. Go
Great,
for it.
thanks. It's
Would you
been-
like to let the people know your social media platforms?
Yes, it's Alan Clarke Official on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Oh, I've got a big show coming up.
It's a big show. Am I going to be in that show?
Garron is a special guest. I've got a big show, a live podcast in the TF Royal Theatre in Castlebar on the 28th of December.
How convenient. And I'm going to be there as a little guest. So we're happy out. And
Mind
you're
yourself.
absolute legends. Stay delicious.
This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with HeadStuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.